now.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do that, guys, they always say not everything that looks so great and shiny on the outside is as fabulous on the inside. We've got a confession for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We are just like you.
Mm-hmm.
We struggled to in the past. We hit rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Rio, do you want to tell them about a time when you felt like you hit rock bottom and how you overcame that?
Yeah, there's a couple instances where you feel like you hit rock bottom, but one really comes to mind, and that was during my divorce. We're both products of a divorce. We both know what that's like. And for me and my divorce, we were so close. I mean, I'm talking about seeing the future together. The white picket fence, the dogs in the yard, the kids in the bassinet. They still say bassinet, but you're seeing all these things, and you feel like you have that deep connection, even to the point where you feel like I love this person so much I want to be married, and we did just that. But you know where my rock bottom came from, Mika? It's when we lost our communication. We realized that we weren't in a power partner relationship. We realized that we were selling for what the traditional relationship was, but we really didn't understand the deeper meaning of what a connection really was. We end up getting a divorce, Mika. And I'm talking about when you get a divorce and you can't even wake up in the middle of the day, like you're sleeping late, you're tossing and turning at night. When you really question if you're deserving of love, is it my fault? Is it their fault? Whose fault is it? The blame game. When you hit rock bottom, I didn't think I was ever going to marry again. I didn't think I was ever going to date anybody again because this was the person I was supposed to be with for the rest of my life, and it didn't work out. What do I do after that? And for a long time, I got into a situation where I was just bouncing around and dating people, not being conscious, right, or understanding what I was really looking for. Rock bottom looks like that. You're just aimlessly going through the dating scene, aimlessly searching for somebody to feel you because I hadn't worked on myself, right, to understand who I was after that divorce.
And for me, my rock bottom was very similar. I've been married in the past, so yes, I am divorced. That's why I wrote that book. And that was an 11-year relationship, and we're married for 7 years with 3 children between the two of us. And when you are in a situation where you're like, okay, I'm set, and I don't know how many of you guys can relate to this, right? That have come out of a divorce or a long-term partnership or common law relationship, but you're in a situation where your life is planned together. You say you don't believe in divorce. You've got children together. You're building your home together. You're trying to just really create that future that you want. And then boom, all of a sudden, someone comes up and says, well, I don't want this anymore. That's devastating, right? It's not only devastating for you, but it's devastating for your children. It's devastating for your family. It's devastating to the dreams that you committed to. And at that point, I have to say, the first time I was hit with the statement or the question of I want a divorce, I was 7 months pregnant with my 3rd child, on the verge of, losing my business, being diagnosed with severe depression, and I thought my world was going to come to an end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But just like, anything else in my life, I knew that there was always a greater purpose. I knew that there was always a greater meaning for everything that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So after going through some deep, deep soul searching and getting myself some help, and even after having my child, I recognized that there has to be more. There's more that I need to do in order to get my life on the path that I need to get it. And in order for me to really see the things show up that I want to show up in my life. And that's where you're at right now. There's deeper and greater meaning to your life. There's deeper and greater meaning to companionship, to combat loneliness, and for you to really feel not fulfilled, but for you to really feel like you're walking in the steps that were truly designed for you.
Yeah. So have you hit rock bottom like we have? If you really felt like the rug was pulled from underneath your feet, this is the emotion that we're talking about, where you don't know where you're going to go from here. But this is what we're happy about, babe. They chose to be on this class. You chose to be on this master class. So if you are at rock bottom or you know what that feels like, here are the ways you're going to find and rise like a phoenix, right? To find love again, the right and perfect love for you.
Exactly. So guys, we gave up.
Oh, man.
We gave up on the bad dates.
Mhm.
We gave up on dead end dating. We gave up on the duds for over 5 years after being divorced and for searching for the right person to complete us. We completely gave up.
Mhm.
We were fed up. We were sick and tired. We knew that there was more, and we were going to do whatever it took to make sure that we got our more.
Yeah, and I know we felt, and I know I have, that I have to go and date a lot of people to figure out what I want. Like I have to go on constant dates. So you have end up being in bad dates, right? Because you feel like, oh, this person looks nice or whatever. You get attracted to the wrong things or thinking about that high school love that you used to want back in the day. You know what that's like. So you're just dating random people, hoping to find the right one. How about if we can cut that process? Well, we're not going on these dead end dud relationships, these dead end dud dates, but we're finding the right person. How can we do that? Because giving up, I promise you, we did just that, right? So, dating sites. Now, listen, this is a big one. We talked about the dating site thing, and we said it's more than just a profile. Now, I know my babe confession, another confession, she definitely had a dating profile, right? And we deep dived into her profile from back in the day, and we found some things that are pretty interesting. We want you to look at her profile, right? And she's going to explain it to you. See if your profile is similar to this.
So, this was something that I created when I was on my search of finding love, finding that partner. And I thought that this was pretty good until Rio here broke it down for me and let me know why this wasn't working. So, this is a perfect example
Mhm.
as to how you should not set up your dating profile and what you should not do. And maybe it'll be an indication as to why you're not getting the type of action, the right type of attention that you want from your dating profile.
Mhm.
So, one of the first things that I did that I should not have done, it was literally all about what I did not want. So it
Mhm.
started off saying, in bold caps letters. So I don't know who I thought I was yelling at with this message to begin with. So it said, I had to put this first because maybe it wasn't getting read. Please send a message to start a conversation. I do not have meet me. So this was on a particular dating profile where if someone wanted to get your attention or they wanted to start a conversation, they would use something called Meet Me. That was an upgraded feature and I wasn't paying for the profile, so I didn't have that feature.
Mhm.
So I do not have Meet Me, so I won't be responding to those requests. Please be open to communicating because there's no distance that an airplane and a car cannot fix. If you don't want to make the time to communicate, please do us both a favor and not waste your time. We
Mhm.
all have busy lives, but we choose to make time for what's important. I'm not here to hook up. I'm here to build meaningful friendships with the possibility of a relationship. You will enter my life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. You get to choose.
Ouch.
I'm ready for you, so be sure to get ready for me. Hello,
Mm.
it'll be a great ride. I say this again. Please do us both a favor and not waste your time.
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
I'll spare you the rest. It's pretty
Mhm.
it's pretty crazy, but
Mhm.
Rio, if you had saw this
Mhm.
before we connected, what would you have done?
Well, I would probably be, first of all, nervous. No matter what your profile picture looks like, it gives you pause, right? Because it sounds like you're a person that's definitely hurt, or you're a person that's been through a lot of stuff, and you are already not only just teaching me how you like to be loved, you teach me how you don't want to be loved. So I'm wondering, like, is this person really healed? Like, did they just get out of a relationship? Like, what's going on? So it gives me a reason to pause. And then when we're talking about dating and dating profiles, you want someone to be interested in you, the complete you, the whole you, not the broken you. I'm not, as a man, I'm in a place where I'm having a great time. I might be looking for a mate, but I'm not in a place where I'm looking to heal anybody from what they've gone through. So when you look at this, it already tells me, although you know what you want, it almost sounds like you're pointing your finger at me and saying, I better do this and I better do that, or we can't even connect. I just want to know who you are. And it already kind of gives me some pause as a man to say, whoa. So yeah, I would probably, although I love you very much, baby, we're married now. If I saw that profile, I would probably run a little bit. I'd be on a good pace to get away from this profile for sure.
And ladies, this is an indicator, right? And I'm going to speak to you, woman to woman for a little bit. I know we're out here. I know we're hustling. I know we're doing our thing. I know we're strong. I know we're independent. That's fantastic. And you should never shy away from that.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing you have to keep in mind is that the person that was made and the person that was completely designed for you will love you and will own all of that
Mm-hmm.
about you. You do not have to present yourself in such a harsh way, because one of the things that we recognize from these men through some of the research that we were doing is that these men they need a place where they feel comforted, and they need a place that is inviting. And if that is you, then you do not have to move forth with being so harsh.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean that you're diminishing yourself or all the qualities, the amazing qualities about you. It just means that you are being you and you are standing in your right as a woman.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And this is really important because catching the eye of a potential mate is not difficult, right? You ladies are all beautiful. You guys, I know you attract who you want to attract, but that's not just the thing. It's about speaking to the unspoken energy of your perfect mate. That's the part that's the essential piece in getting your perfect and getting your power partner. Now, there's one other thing, a caveat to this. A profile like this does attract a certain type of person, a person that likes the challenge. So what'll happen, and what you might have noticed, is when you have a profile like this, you meet a lot of guys who aren't necessarily looking for the serious thing. They might say they are, but the real deal is, how can I crack this egg, right? How can I get this person that seems to be so hurt in a vulnerable place? How can I take advantage of the situation? If I see that you're hurt, then you have a lot of people who are narcissists, for lack of a better word, that want to come in and try to take advantage of where they think you are. So it's important to attract the right people, and this could be attracting the wrong person.
Exactly. So guys, this is the perfect example of, well, technically it's what not to do in a profile, but you can draw from this and learn how to create and how to set up your personal profile. And that's definitely something, if you are in a place to do that, that's definitely something that we help our clients with, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is what I attracted.
Mm-hmm.
Because of a profile like this. So there was a situation where I guess someone saw my profile and they were interested, and they decided to reach out and message me. Now, this is how you do not get play in the DMs, okay? First of all, if you see someone that you're attracted to, especially if you're in a group setting, especially on social media, make sure that you kind of break the ice before jumping into their DMs. So if you see posts, if you see things that they're commenting on, go ahead and respond to their comment, like their comment, heart their comment, whatever it is. Don't just jump into the DM with something like this. So this person jumped into my DM and he said, hi. I didn't respond. He said, how are you? I didn't respond. He said, where are you from? I didn't respond. He said, you're so beautiful. I didn't respond. He sent me hearts. I didn't respond. I like you. I didn't respond. He said, hello. I didn't respond. He said, tell me. I didn't respond. Now look at all the times, right? So you can see he started messaging me, I think it was 10:30 something. And then that all went on until about 2:16 in the afternoon. I didn't respond. And then he proceeded to call me. Now, my profiles, especially on certain social media platforms, they're public. My contact number is there because I am a woman who owns a business. And if clients are looking to get a hold of me, there's a way for them to get a hold of me. So this person proceeded to call my number, thinking that it was okay for him to use my contact information to now phone me because he wasn't getting a response to messages. That was for a reason, bro. So then he goes on to say, why are you ignoring me? I want to talk to you. And then I finally was just so fed up. I said, who are you? Proceeds to tell me his name. I really like you. I said, I don't know you. Then he says, I want to talk to you. And I says, I don't know you. Then he tells me who he is, how old he is, and that he has a job. That's fantastic. Then he says, ask me anything you like. Where did you get my number? He didn't respond to me. He said, you're so hot from your Facebook. I said, please don't use it, because obviously this is not someone that wants advice or wants to become a client of ours. Then he says, I want to talk to you. Can you pick up my video call? Why are you video calling me?
Right.
That is a big, big no-no.
Yeah.
First of all, a video call is a progression in a virtual relationship. You get someone's permission to video call them. You do not, number one, just jump into their DM. You do not, number two, just jump onto a video chat with this person. That is a huge no-no. They are not always in a position to be able to accept or get on video, right? You get permission for that. So as you can see, there were no more responses. This person immediately got blocked.
Yeah.
So guys, that is not how you get action in someone's DM. First of all, start interacting with them in a public space. So in the group itself, start liking their posts, start commenting on their posts, start commenting on comments that you've seen them post in the group, right? Start creating that virtual bond prior to jumping. Start building that relationship prior to jumping in that person's DM. We'll get into it a little bit later, and you guys will kind of see a little bit of the interaction that Rio and I had before he slipped into my DM and produced this amazing power couple relationship that we have right now.
Yeah, that was brutal, to say the least. Like, that was really bad. I'm like, sorry you had to go through that. That was terrible. And I know there's a lot of us on this call who have dealt with this, right? Either you've been the person like he was, where you were coming on way too hard, way too thirsty, and you're sending all these messages with no reply. I'm going to give you one more nugget. Let's give him another nugget, babe. Like you said before, you want to find common interests before you jump in the DM. I know we'll talk about that. But if you're sending 3-4 messages with no reply, you need to stop it. Because either they just haven't seen it yet, right? Instead of you being all mad about them not responding, maybe they haven't seen it yet, had time to reply. But on the other hand, maybe they have read it and they just don't want to reply. You need to move on. When you start sending 2, 3, 4 messages, you are doing what? Too much. So
way too much.
Way too much. So cut it out. It should be a conversation, not just a one-way sending somebody messages like you're thirsty. So don't do that. All right?
Absolutely.